Hello everybody and welcome to my video tutorial on how to torch body fat without hitting the gym. Most people think that you need to hit the gym in order to lose weight, and I'm going to teach you today that that is definitely not the case. You can actually end up burning a lot more calories without even having to step foot in the gym. As I say, most people make this big mistake, and half the people that end up, going to the gym and losing weight, they don't even enjoy doing the exercise in the gym. And if you don't enjoy it, then what happens is that you don't sustain it long term. It's all about finding activities that you can enjoy and you can see yourself doing them for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And that's how we get long term results. Now, I don't know whether you got the video last week, but I did a video on how to eat anything and lose weight forever, and it was very, very long. It was about 50 minutes long. So this video is going to be short, sharp, and to the point. So it's going to be a lot shorter, but it means then that you're going to learn a lot more in a short space of time. So please listen up and have your notebooks at the ready. So let's get straight into it then. So total daily energy expenditure then. This is another term for the amount of calories that you can eat without putting on any weight. So it is the amount of calories that you can eat based on your level of activity. And this can be different for different people. So somebody who works behind the desk is sedentary and they're not going to burn as many calories throughout the day because they're not moving as much. Whereas somebody who's like a farmer, say, are going to be a lot more active throughout the day and they're going to be burning more calories as they're so much more active, which means then they can eat that bit more calories and still stay within their maintenance. Whereas the person on the desk job won't be able to eat as many calories and still stay within the maintenance. And that is another thing that we will talk about later on in the teaching about how things have changed in society. There's a lot more desk jobs nowadays, and this is why we see that a lot more people are overweight because of the shift in the activity throughout the jobs that they do. So, first off here, think of this as 10 levels of stairs. And the first 7 levels here, as you can see in front of us, is your basic metabolic rate. And this is pretty much the amount of calories that you need to consume in order to survive. This is the basic amount of calories that you need in order to keep your body functioning. And this is the amount of calories as well that you burn at rest. So whenever you are sitting down, watching TV, whenever you are sleeping at nighttime, whenever you're breathing, these basic functions, this is the amount of calories that you burn during this process, and it takes up more than half of your total daily energy expenditure. Now that doesn't mean that you think you can rest all the time, because sure, look, that's it, that's the most amount of calories that I'm burning, so why would I not want to rest? But that is not the case. You want to be eating within the activity levels on top of that, which we are going to talk about now. So the next level up is about 2 floors. So say that's like 20%. So this is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is just another fancy term for the activities that you do that are not planned into your day. And this can be things like walking about the place. This can be things like fidgeting. This can be things like standing on public transport. So it's activities that you do throughout the day that you don't have planned in. And this is actually where the second most amount of calories that you burn throughout the day situates, and it is a very, very important part of your total daily energy expenditure. The next part is your thermogenesis, your thermic effect of food, and this is the amount of calories that we burn when we are digesting food. So that would be another two, or it would be another 1.5 floors up. So that's about 15%. So again, it's not massive on the grand scheme of the 10 levels, but for different foods, there is different thermogenic effects. So for the likes of fat and carbs, it's going to cost less energy for your body to digest these, whereas protein is an extra 30%. It takes your body an extra 30% more energy to break down protein. Now, on the grand scheme of things, again, that is very minimal. If you increase protein in your diet, like you're maybe going to burn an extra pound of body fat or two over the course of a year. So it's not that big of a deal, but still it is part of your total daily energy expenditure. And finally, the last part here at the top is your exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is any exercise that you have planned into your day. So that could be going to the gym, that could be doing your CrossFit, could be doing your spin classes, whatever that is. And like most people have their tracking watches, and sometimes it can say that you burnt maybe 500, 600 calories in a gym session, when in actual fact, you've probably only burnt around maybe 100 to 200 calories. So it is a very, very small window, very, very small part of your total daily energy expenditure, which is why I'm going to come back down to the non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the neat up. That's what we want to be looking at, focusing on, because this is the low injury risk section of your total daily energy output that we can increase, and it's not going to cost us very much. And if we can increase that there, then that's going to affect the overall amount of calories that we burn throughout the day, and we're essentially going to burn more calories in NEAT than we do in EAT, which is the planned gym sessions that we have factored into our day. So we need to focus more on the NEAT side of things. And this will explain exactly what I've been saying there. So daily calories burnt at the gym is probably around 200 calories, say. Over the course of a year, that is 3,200 calories based on the average of about 3 gym sessions per week. Whereas if you your daily calories burnt through getting your 10,000 steps in per day is around 400. It could be sometimes 500 calories over daily, 400 calories daily. And over the course of a year, that is 146,000 calories if you can do your average of 10,000 steps per day. And I know that some people are able to get more than that, and some people a bit less. But on the grand scheme of things, there is a hell of a lot more calories burnt by getting your 10,000 steps in every day rather than going to the gym 3 times a week. That is almost 5 times the amount of calories. And getting your 10,000 steps in, walking, it doesn't cost you. It's absolutely free for one thing. You can literally go and walk anywhere you want. It is virtually injury free. You can go to the gym and you could injure yourself lifting weights or doing CrossFit. Whereas if you go out for a walk, it's not very often that people get injured when they go out for a walk. Also, whenever you go out for a walk as well, you're clearing your head. You can listen to podcasts, which is very good for your mental side of things as well. And I'm not saying to not go to the gym, but what I want you to do is start focusing more on your daily activities, focusing more on getting your 10,000 steps in per day, and then adding the gym in on top of these, because you'll see a lot more benefits. You'll see a lot more calories burnt, and you will then start to lose weight that little bit quicker. And it means then as well, if you're getting your 10,000 steps in per day, and then sometimes you would maybe go to the gym, or you would skip the gym, you would miss a session, and then you'd feel really guilty about it, and you go, fuck's sake, I didn't get to the gym today. So you know what I'll do? Fuck it, I'll just that's me. I've thrown in the towel. I'm gonna eat all around me here. And but if you now that you know that getting your 10,000 steps in is nearly double the amount of calories burnt than in a gym session, and it means then you don't have to feel guilty about it. It's like, well, guess what? I actually burnt more calories anyway. Getting my 10,000 steps in, the gym's only a bonus, so I don't have to feel guilty about it, and I can still stay on track, which is this is what the way you should be shifting your mindset towards. And then we come on to some tips then on how to increase your neat habits to burn more calories. So what you can do is, instead of jumping in the elevator and sitting on Instagram, whatever, you can always take the stairs, whether that's in work, whether that's going to hotels, make a pact to yourself, make it a non-negotiable that you always take the stairs. Like, I think I worked it out over a year. If you take the stairs on average 7.5 times per week, you're going to burn around 1.5 kgs of body fat in a year. Now, obviously, daily, that's not very much, but you look at that, their long-term results, like 1.5 kg is nothing to be laughed at. And that's just by making one simple adjustment of, instead of walking into an elevator, you walk up the stairs. And it doesn't take too much out of your day. Another thing you can do is park further away from the door, and that could be at your house, that could be going to get your shop. And another benefit of parking further from the door is that you're going to get more parking spaces around you, so you don't have to fucking open the door, and crawl out sideways and maybe like marking the other person's car by opening your door, whereas you've got a lot more space to open the door, and obviously then you're going to burn a lot more calories by those extra steps. And it's all these things that's going to add up. Pace around when you are on your phone. So say you get a phone call during work, get up and start pacing around the room while you are on your mobile, or say you're chatting to friends like later on that night or whatever, get up and walk about the place while you're on your phone. You will not even realize that you are the amount of steps that you do, and you'll probably end up doing an extra maybe 500 to 1,000 steps. And this is a great way to increase your daily steps. Another thing you can do in work is to get yourself a standing desk, so that it makes it easier then for you to sort of be able to move around your desk a lot more freely, and it'll just increase your activity levels rather than sitting down. You're going to burn a lot more calories standing up. So getting a standing desk is really good. It's also very good for your posture as well. So that's another added benefit to that. If you use public transport and you get the bus, then instead of getting off at the bus stop that is closest to the place that you're going to, why not get off 2, maybe 3 stops earlier than the bus stop that you usually would get off? And that's going to add an extra maybe 200, 300, 400 steps per day. And again, then if you're getting back on the bus, instead of going to the bus stop that you usually go to, why don't you go to 2 or 3 bus stops up from that? And that's going to increase the amount of steps you do then per day. And then over a week, then it could go from, it could be an extra 1,000 steps over a week. That's 7,000 steps, which on the grand scheme of things, again, you're going to be burning an extra maybe kilo, maybe more than that there over a year. And it's just all about making these small adjustments. And the last one, which is my personal favorite, I bought a dog there last year, and it has been the best thing that I have ever done. Not only do you get a best friend, but you also have to get out and take the dog for a walk. And that means then that, I don't know, say that too loud or else she'll start barking. But if you get a dog, you'll have to take it for a walk every morning, take it for a walk every evening, because it's not fair. And you're going to get an average of about maybe, if you take the dog for a walk for 15, 20 minutes each time, you're going to get an average of about 2, maybe 3,000 steps in, which over a day, if you take it twice, that's going to be between 4,000 and 6,000 steps, which is going to dramatically increase the amount of steps that you do over the course of a week. So that this is if you can implement maybe 2 or 3 of these things, you're definitely going to increase the amount of steps that you do. And like, it doesn't have to be 10,000 steps, but like say you're on at the moment 3 or 4, if you can increase that to 6, 7, if you can push what you're doing now, then you are going to see a hell of a difference in the amount of calories that you burn on a daily basis. So a few action steps then for you to do over the next week, over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, is to buy yourself a Fitbit or a smartwatch. Maybe you already have it, or you can use your phone, and then that means you can start tracking your daily steps. And then what you want to be doing is aiming to hit around 10,000 steps per day. Now, as I said there before, maybe you are somebody that sits behind a desk all day and you're maybe only getting about 2,000-3,000 steps. So see if you can increase that, maybe try and add an extra 2,000 steps, get up to 5, or maybe double it and try and get 6. How can you stretch that? Because the more steps you're going to be able to do in a day, the more calories you are going to burn. And as I say, then you don't need to even worry about going to the gym. And then as long as you stick within your calorie deficit as well, then you're going to burn a lot more calories and you're going to lose weight. So essentially, you have to also be able to stay within your calorie maintenance. You need to stay below that. You need to stay within a calorie deficit, and also then try and increase the amount of calories you burn by hitting your 10,000 steps a day. And this is the key then to losing weight, to torching fat without hitting the gym. So hope you enjoyed this training. A lot more quicker and to the point, and I hope you enjoyed that there. And if you have any questions at all, drop me a message on Instagram at William Carlisle Coaching, or on Facebook just under William Carlisle. Or if you would like any further help, drop me a message and we can have a chat. All right. Cheers.